This is our place, come on in. Our place, so glad you're here. Our place, everybody's welcome. We see God on every face. Love lives here in this place. Welcome to our place, our sweet place.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday service here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Boulder Valley. This truly is a place where love lives. We teach the science of mind philosophy. Well, let me rephrase that. We teach it, we study it, we practice it. We do all kinds of activities around us. And so many people have said to me over the years, what is the science of mind philosophy? And then they get into it and they come back and they go, it saved my life. It certainly saved my life. Without it, I wouldn't be here. Because the science of mind philosophy teaches us how to think. We want a positive life, we think positive thoughts. It also teaches us that we are all one. There's no such thing as two-ness. There's only oneness. So come on in as we celebrate the philosophy and share time with you. We are here to love and support you.
Hello, Centers for Spiritual Living, Boulder Valley. Welcome. I'm Claudia Milner, and I'm a practitioner here in service. First, let's get settled in prayer. Join me if you would like. Settle into this moment. Take a nice deep breath and allow this breath to take you to that center space, that still point within each of us, where we are absolutely connected to the divine, the one power, the one presence, one essence that is all. And knowing here that regardless of the circumstances surrounding us, we truly are connected, as there is only this one, power, love, light. It is the beating of each of our hearts. It's the breath that gives us life. And so in this moment, I just call us all together in this space of oneness, knowing that what unfolds for each of us in this service ahead is perfect, it's profound, and it is divine. And as we share in this experience together, I just express great gratitude for all that we have, all that we are, and all that is to be, yet to be discovered. And so I release my word into that law, knowing that it is already done. We are blessed, and we anchor this by saying, and so it is. Thank you for being here. So join with me if you choose to speak our purpose, our mission, and our vision. Our purpose is celebrating divinity, embracing humanity, and creating community. Our mission, providing tools and support to awaken our community to its spiritual magnificence. And our vision, inspiring and uplifting every one of us to transform the world. And so it is. So I'd like to bring your attention to the candles behind me, and just as an external representation of the light that is always burning within us, that still point, that is always within, always burning, always present. And this is an external representation. And when I blow out these candles, I know that that light still exists in each one of us. It is sustained and nurtured by the one power, the presence, God, universe. So the reading for you today is called The Power of Words, How Words Impact Your Life. And this is by Catherine Hurst. We start out with John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Everything begins with the word, she says. Words consist of vibration and sound. It is these vibrations that create the very reality that surrounds us. Words are the creator of our universe, our lives, our reality. Without words, a thought can never become a reality. Our words provide a bold affirmation of our innermost thoughts. They are a confirmation to the world of how we see others, our lives, and ourselves. It is this power affirmation that our words provide, which enables our thoughts to manifest into reality. There's 3 ways to use our words. I'm sure there's more, but these are what she promotes. First of all, choose your words wisely. Your words are the paint with which you paint your reality. Choose those words wisely and positively to create a reality that is good for you. Number 2 is affirm. I am what I am. Affirm who you are, your dreams, your hopes, and your successes with 2 of the most powerful words that a person could ever utter. I am. These 2 small but incredibly powerful words should be considered the most precious words that you have in your entire vocabulary. How we end the sentence, I am, defines who we are to ourselves and to everybody around us. And third and lastly, speak from the heart. Practice self-awareness over words you are using. Choose your words bravely, consciously, and lovingly. Always speak from a place of love for yourself, for your life, and for others. Your words equal your world, so use them wisely. And from Maya Angelou, words mean more than what is set down on paper. It takes a human voice to infuse them with deeper meaning. Please join me in speaking our affirmation. We can read it 2 times, and we'll follow it with a moment of quiet contemplation. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes and turn inward. I use the power of my voice to uplift humanity. I use the power of my voice to uplift humanity.
Hallelujah. We are one now. 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 So we sing hallelujah. Alleluia, 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 alleluia.
Hallelujah. Please join me in prayer. So again, as we recognize that place within us, that still point, that center space of quiet and silence, knowing that from this place within us, as in every other human being, every sentient being, this heart of love, of light, of passion and compassion, of laughter, of joy, and yes, of challenge, pain, and sorrow. This is the place where God lives. This is the place from which my life is an expression of that one life, as it is for every life there is. In this place of courage and wonderment, I recognize that the changing of the seasons, the passage of time, the change that we all experience is just an aspect of that one expression, Spirit expressing itself. And so in this moment, I speak my word for Centers for Spiritual Living, Boulder Valley. Each member, each community member, which is a family, creates this family here, whether it is online, in person, or in the ethereal realm. So I speak my word for wholeness, for health, for prosperity and abundance of all kinds, abundance of friendships, family, laughter. I just know in this moment, for each individual member, contained and connected through the heart space, so much love, so much compassion, and so much connection. I also speak my word for Centers for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley, knowing that as the future unfolds, it unfolds with divine grace, with ease, and again with joy, the uncovering and the discovery of the new like a fresh, beautiful morning, knowing that each of our lives in this transition is absolutely guided. So in this moment, with peace and prosperity and health and wholeness and newness, I release my word into law, knowing that that universal law always says yes. Yes, my beloved, as you believe. And it is with a joyful heart that I release my words, knowing that all is so well, all is so good. It is done. We affirm these words, by saying together, and so it is.
I am so excited to be introducing our guest speaker and musician today. I met Mark in 1987. He actually was a congregant of mine when I started at the Portland Church of Religious Science so long ago. We quickly became friends, and then we have gone on to be mastermind partners for over 30 years. You can't imagine what we can say to each other. We meet weekly. I asked Mark to speak because he is so accomplished. He is an international voice coach, and his business, Center Stage Voice Coaching, works with people all over the world. There is so much I could tell you about this man. He is an award-winning musician. He just has done so much in the world, but I want to share with you a story that I love. So one of Mark's clients got to the level of success where he was going to be on The Tonight Show. He calls Mark the day of that he was supposed to be on The Tonight Show that night, and he had something going on in his throat. He could barely sing. So Mark's in Portland. His client is in New York, about to go on to The Tonight Show, and Mark coached him so that he could use his voice and show up and be an excellent musician. This man has touched literally thousands of people, and he teaches people how to have a brave voice. Thank you, Mark, for being here. And let me just state, I love you dearly.
Thank you so much, Jody, and welcome everybody at CSL Boulder Valley. I am so happy to be here. I'll be playing you some original music I've written and also doing the talk today. And we're going to start with a meditation song. This is something that I wrote with a friend of mine, Reverend Robin Tudor. It's called I Open, and I invite you to sing it with me, and then we'll go into a meditation. I open my heart, I open my soul. I open my heart, I open my soul. Sweet Spirit of God, in your love I am whole. Repeat that. I open my heart, I open my soul. Sweet Spirit of God, in your love I am whole. Again. I open my heart, I open my soul. Sweet Spirit of God, in your love I am whole. I open my heart, I open my soul. Sweet Spirit of God, in your love I am whole. I now invite you to go inside. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. And first, notice your heartbeat. You may be able to feel it. If not, imagine it, because you know it's happening. Now, move your attention to your breathing. Feel the air go in, and now move back out. Move back in, and back out. And lastly, notice what you have to do to make that happen. The answer is obviously nothing. Spirit is beating your heart. Spirit is breathing you into the world. If you don't think about beating your heart, if you don't think about breathing, doesn't matter. Spirit does it through you and for you. Imagine if during your day you could take this same awareness and place it on living your life. Imagine if you took your list of goals, the things you dream the most passionately about, and you have the same knowing that I don't have to do anything but declare with the power of my voice what I want to create and experience in my life, instead of what most of us do, which is, I hope I deserve this. I wish I could have this happen in my life. Imagine if you had the same flow that your heartbeat and your breathing does all day long and all night long with all the other aspects of your life. And this is what I invite all of us to do this week, is anytime you find yourself rushing, forcing, trying to push the river to make it happen, whatever the it is, stop for a moment and notice your heartbeat. Notice the flow of your breathing, and know that you can have that same flow for every aspect of your life. I open my heart, I open my soul, sweet Spirit of God, in your love I am whole. I open my heart, I open my soul, sweet Spirit of God, in your love I am whole. Morning again, everybody. I'm Mark Bosnian. I live in Portland, Oregon. I was invited to do this because Jody and I have been mastermind partners for over 30 years, and I love her dearly. And when she said, "Would you be willing?" I went, "Okay," because I sing all the time, but I have never spoken at a church. So I'm looking forward to this. This has been fun to create. And right now I'm going to sing you a song that I wrote with another friend of mine, Todd Samison. And this feels very relevant because I don't know about you, but it's pretty easy to feel disconnected from folks, to feel somewhat lost now and then, and to wish we had some help. This is called If I Lose My Way. If I lose my way, will you come find me? If I lose my way somehow, if I lose my way somewhere behind, will you come look for me? Look for me in the hills and hollows, search the land where I was swallowed. If I lose my way, if I lose my way, will you come find me? If I'm in the dark, light a candle. If I'm lost out in the dark, if I start to fall, give me a handle. Won't you hold me close? Throw a line if I start to sink. Pull me back if I'm on the brink. If I'm in the dark, light a candle. Light a candle. 'Cause this old world can be so frightening, rolling thunder, flashing lightning, surely bound to run you through the mail. If the sun should hide from you and all the world's denied to you, I will be beside you if you lose your way somehow, if you lose your way somewhere behind, I will come back for you. Search this land so broken and burned, leave no rock or stone unturned. If you lose your way, if you lose your way, I will find you. If you lose your way, if you lose your way, look for me in the hills and hollows. Search the land where I was swallowed. If I lose my way, if I lose my way, will you come find me? Will you come find me? Thank you much for what I think I heard was a little applause through the ethers there. Alrighty. You were born with a powerful voice, and you were born with a powerful voice. And you in the Scooby-Doo pajamas eating the bowl of Captain Crunch there, you were born with a powerful voice. You were all born with a powerful voice. Just ask your mom. And babies don't have any problem hitting the high notes. They can sing for hours and they don't care what anybody thinks about the quality of their performance. But somewhere our voices get squelched by what I call turn it down training. Your mother says, children should be seen and not heard. Teacher says, shh, use your indoor voice. Father says, quiet down in there. Today, I'm inviting you to reclaim your powerful voice. And just like elephants, tigers, and Ethel Merman, we were all born with what it takes to experience the power of a brave voice. But something happens along the way. If you go to a kindergarten class and you ask everybody, how many of you would like to sing a song? Almost every hand will go up. If you go back to that same school later that night and you go to the parent-teachers meeting and you ask the same question, you're hardly going to see any hands. Somewhere we learn that it is safer not to open up and use our voices. What if I make a mistake? What if I don't sound good? What if they laugh at me? What we're really afraid of is, what if I'm not good enough? And worrying about that is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. So once we start this worrying about whether we'll sound good and when we sing, speak, or do anything with our voice in front of people, we start conditioning ourselves to say no to opportunities to voice ourselves into the world. That can look like anything from having fun belting out the high note of the national anthem to a sold out crowd in an NBA arena. I've done that. It was scary, but it was a blast. Or it can be putting yourself out there at a stand-up comedy open mic night. Or it could be auditioning for community theater. It can also mean other types of dry mouth, heart pounding activities like disagreeing with the boss in front of the whole office, or asking someone for a date, or telling a bully to quit picking on someone when your voice is trembling with fear and there's no one else around in case things go south. So we're talking about voice here, and let's start by defining that. In relation to our bodies, voice is the sound that comes out of your mouth when you laugh, sigh, scream, yodel, belch, make animal noises, or record radio and TV commercials. I've made a living doing all of those things. In English class, voice in relation to writing has to do with the active or passive voice. An active voice is in I created clear goals and I manifested what I daily envisioned. The same sentence in passive voice would be goals were created by me, but I've been sitting around on the sofa hoping they would happen, and surprisingly, nothing did happen. I get to work professionally with clients all over the world who want to use their brave voice in speaking, in singing, and in writing. How did I get to do this? You may ask. Well, it all started on one Saturday morning in Los Angeles when my mother drove me to the television studio where they filmed what I thought was the greatest thing that has ever been on television, the Sheriff John's Lunch Brigade show. Sheriff John was this jovial, friendly guy who wore a sheriff's uniform and hat. There was cartoons. He had a special birthday song he sang to anybody who had a birthday. I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And when I found out you could be in the studio audience, I begged my mom. So we drove there. I could hardly stand it when I got out. We sat fairly close because I thought it was so exciting. And at one point, Sheriff John said, well, there's a video that's going to be playing for the next 10 minutes. So we're going to do what we often do here in the studio audience. We're going to have a contest. And any of the kids who would like to sing can come up here. And the winner, based on applause, is going to win this spacesuit with a helmet that shoots bubbles out of it. One very embarrassed mother tried to creep secretly to the door while her son bolted down the aisle and jumped up on the stage. Sheriff John took the mic and thrust it into this kid's face and said, "What's your name, son, and what are you going to sing?" "My name is Mark, and I'm going to sing the Davy Crockett song." So I proceeded to belt the song out for all I was worth while flailing my arms and my legs all over the stage. And believe it or not, I won. And as they were handing me the spacesuit, I went, wow, this singing thing is really cool. At that point, what was born was my career as both a professional singer and a professional voice coach. Little did I know. Then, after that, like millions of other kids, I watched the debut of the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. And I actually stood up in my living room and vowed to my family, who were looking at me like, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to do that when I get older. That being be in a band and be a rock star. At the time, I had no idea that I was practicing the power of visualization as well as the power of a brave voice. And so immediately after that show, my brother and I started pretending we were the Beatles with two friends of ours. We would sing into vacuum cleaner hoses, acting like a mic, and we strummed tennis rackets while lip-syncing Beatles songs. I begged my parents for a guitar, and when I was 13, I got a guitar. And I started learning to play it. And I got invited to lead the sing-along at Young Life meetings at my junior high school. And I thought, getting to stand up and sing, and especially in front of these girls, this showed me the potential payoff of the power of a brave voice. I played more. I started singing more. When I was in high school, I helped create an after-school organization called the Folk Rock Club. And my first real gig was playing guitar and singing 3 songs at an all-school assembly. I was really nervous, but I did it anyway. And I thought I did okay. So when I went to my faculty advisor afterwards and said, "What did you think, Mr. Kuhn?" He said, "Well, Mark, you could turn into a pretty good singer," gee thanks, "if you projected more from your diaphragm." And I said, "I've heard of that. How do I do that?" He pointed at my belly button and he said, "You've got to focus the sound right there." I spent 3 entire weeks focusing the sound right here, and believe it or not, nothing changed. At that point, two things happened. I realized that those kind of commands that we get when we're trying to learn something, I just started playing golf, and all kinds of people tell me, "Keep your head down, keep your arms straight, do this, do that." Without real specific instructions, sing more from your diaphragm, or project more, or make the tone more resonant. You'd do that if you knew how, but you don't. So I realized at that point, these kind of commands are pretty worthless. And I also realized at that point, I want to figure out what those things really mean and how to do it. And that turned into me becoming a voice coach 16 years later. Right after I graduated from high school, me and 5 other folks from Young Life volunteered to go to Zaire, which is now the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and spend the whole summer volunteering. It was an amazing experience. And I had 2 roles in the group. Because most African countries have French as a secondary language to whatever tribal or other languages they have, and because I had taken a semester of French in high school, I was deemed the translator for our group. You can imagine how well that worked. But my other role was a little easier for me. It was to promote a type of cultural exchange through my singing and playing guitar. And I met a kid about the same age as me, and every day for 2 months, we spent about an hour trading off, playing the guitar and singing for the other person. And I can't tell you how moved I was and how connected we were. And what was so amazing is I had no idea what he was singing about, and he had no idea what I was singing about. Talk about music as a universal language, and talk about the power of a brave voice. Just as we were to leave Zaire and start flying around the world the other way, I got really sick and I had to leave. I had to separate from the group, fly home, and within a day I was admitted to the Orange County Medical Center. And I got worse and I got worse. And they determined in the first week or two that not only did I have malaria and jaundice, but some other nasty things, and one of them was killing me. I had 26 doctors on my case. I made Case of the Week in some prestigious national medical journal because nobody could figure out what was happening. They did every test in the book that were painful and ugly. They took blood out of me every day, 4 or 5 times. 5 weeks into this, my mom told me later that the nurse had shared with her that the doctor didn't think I was going to live through that night. And the very next morning, I woke up, and while my eyes were still closed, I couldn't remember where I was. And then I started hearing the clicking and the buzzing of the machines I was hooked to that were both monitoring my vitals and helping to keep me alive. And I opened my eyes and saw, oh yeah, the fabulous beigeness of my hospital room. But on this morning, something different happened. I started to get a very weird tingling in my feet, and I thought one of my feet was just falling asleep, but it was much stronger, and it started moving. It started moving from my feet to my ankles. This is really weird. And then it moved up to my shins, and it moved to my knees, and it moved all the way up to my thighs and started to move into my torso. And in a very calm, surprisingly peaceful way, I went to myself, I'm dying. And I also realized at the same time, I get to decide whether to let this happen or not. I have no idea where that knowing came from, but I knew. And I wasn't real freaked out about it. It was very tempting to think about surrendering and just passing on. No more tests, no more blood draws, no more 26 different doctors trying to psych me out into admitting something that caused my disease. That was all very tempting. But in another aha moment, I realized, no, I have something big I'm supposed to do. I'm not done in this lifetime. I want to live. I said that out loud. And immediately the tingling stopped and it started moving back down my torso, back down my legs, back down to my feet, and then it disappeared. And for the first time in weeks, I realized I'm hungry. And so when the nurse that checked in on me every hour for the last 5 weeks poked her head in to see how I was doing, I went, "Nurse Cratchit, what's on the menu for breakfast today? I'm hungry." And she freaked out and went running down the hall to get the doctor. Within a week, I was released. And I look often at the power of my voice in saying, I want to live, in stopping that whole process. We all have this power. We just have to be willing to use it. After I was released from the hospital, I started college. And I was so pumped because I was going to be a music major. So at freshman orientation, I met with my advisor and said, I want to be a music major. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm in a band, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, stop. He says, I just want to double check. You took band all 3 years of high school, right? And I said, no, I didn't take band at all. He said, well, you can't major in music then. I said, what? He goes, yeah, you'll be too far behind in knowing how to read music and being able to play that you can't major in music. You can minor it if you want. And I said, so wait a minute, let me get this straight. You're telling me I can't learn something in college unless I already know how to do it. He said, well, no, that's not really what I'm saying. I said, yeah, it really is. And he goes, this is for your own good. I'm sharing this story because as you start choosing more, affirmation, more ways to use the power of your brave voice, you are going to run into this kind of thinking. Why are you taking voice coaching? You don't sing particularly well. Why are you running for office? You've not had any political experience. Please don't tell the boss your ideas about streamlining that one system. No one's proven that those will work yet. This is just like my advisor in college. Buckle your seatbelt. You may hear some things like this. Let them flow over you. Julia Cameron talks about this same thing in her book, The Artist's Way. She talks about how afraid people are when you start deciding to do some kind of artistic endeavor, whether it's using your voice or painting or dancing or do anything. What you do is you're in danger of leaving the herd, H-E-R-D, and this scares people. The great thing is you join all the folks who are willing to be heard, H-E-A-R-D. And here's the truth. If you are willing to be heard, it does not matter how great your voice works. And if you are not willing to be heard, it does not matter how great your voice works. Meaning, I've heard singers with gorgeous instruments. The voice itself sounds spectacular. but because they are afraid to open up, to be vulnerable, to let emotion come through, the performance is flat. And I sit there going, great voice, not feeling it. And on the other side of that coin, I've heard people that have average or worse instruments, but I watch and feel them blow us, the audience, away with their phenomenally vulnerable emotional performance. So again, if you are willing to be heard, it doesn't matter how good your voice is, you can work on that. If you're not willing to be heard, it doesn't matter how great your voice is, you will not be connecting with people in a way that you could. The power of a brave voice is what we're talking about here. Being willing to do it, not waiting until we think we're perfect at it. In our world right at the moment, the Black Lives Matter movement, the protests of police brutality are examples of the power of a brave voice. Are people afraid they might get arrested when they protest? Yes. Will changing how police departments function in a new model be easy? Absolutely not. Is doing nothing even easier? Of course. That's why I used the term the power of a brave voice. And a lot of people think brave means you've gotten to the place where you feel no fear. It's really the opposite. Brave means you feel terrified or petrified or scared out of your mind, but you're willing to do it anyway. When you say something to your boss, give a speech, sing in public, ask somebody for a date, sign up for that comedy improv class, and it feels like the hardest thing you've ever done, you are being vulnerable and authentic in ways that are extremely powerful. In my experience, using the power of a brave voice is saying yes to spirit, because we are constantly being divinely nudged, guided, sometimes dragged into places that we're afraid to go. But on some level, we often know this is where we really want to go. As you develop skills to use your voice, your powerful voice, the fear doesn't necessarily go away. A lot of my clients are heartbroken to hear that getting better as a singer or a speaker or a writer or anything else doesn't automatically erase stage fright. In fact, I define a singer as simply a person whose desire to sing is this much greater than their fear of doing it. And a non-singer is simply a person whose fear of singing is this much bigger than their desire to sing. Over the next few days, I invite you to notice any opportunities that pop up for you to use your voice. And at that moment, I want you to notice any physical sensations or emotional changes in response to thinking about those opportunities. Because fear really is what keeps most people from using their voice, from speaking, singing, doing a sales call, speaking, becoming an attorney and having to speak to a jury in a courtroom, on and on and on and on. People have desires to do this, but they think they can't. And often what really stops them is the sensations they feel in their body. And often we are unconscious about them, but we're very conscious of the thoughts that come from them that say, don't do this. You could embarrass yourself. You will die if you do this. That's what it feels like. In his book, Thought Exchange, Unity teacher David Friedman created an exercise that is an amazingly powerful thing to do. That when you start to feel like whatever you're thinking about doing is overwhelming and you are not skilled enough or prepared enough or aware enough to do whatever it is you think about doing, stop and notice the sensations you're feeling in your body. It could be butterflies in your stomach, sweaty palms, pounding heart, dry throat. There's all kinds of sensations that we feel and we label stage fright. We could just as easily label those excitement. In fact, that's a way to help move through this. But his exercise is to simply sit and feel those sensations. And at first, it's really uncomfortable. But in about a minute or two, if you don't try to stop them, try to think about them, figure them out, just let them be, they will start to subside, and you will find yourself feeling like, I have everything I need to do this thing I want to do. I know the right steps to take. I feel qualified to do this. It's amazing. And I got to meet David. I was hired to play music at a workshop that he gave, and I was stunned at how he was able to get singer after singer to move through what they thought of as stage fright and perform better. I have been using this exercise myself ever since I got David's book and met him, and it has radically changed my life. You were born with a powerful voice and the right and the obligation to use it. Want to have more joy in your life? You are truly at choice to say what needs to be said, to sing what's in your heart. If you don't feel confident enough to do that, then take advantage of skill building possibilities. Go to a Toastmasters meeting, work with a voice singing coach, take an acting class, explore whatever resistance you have to doing this with a life coach or a counselor. Buy a book and do the work that's presented in it. I can't underline this enough. It's not about whether you were born with a good enough voice. If you have vocal cords that work and make a sound, and your hearing allows you to hear that, you were born with all you need to do anything you want with your voice. Anything. I'm sure all of you have heard the Marianne Williamson quote that starts with, "Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate, our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure." She goes on to say, "Your playing small does not serve the world." And then comes my favorite sentence in this quote. "As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same." This is why I think people love hearing a powerful voice do its thing, whether that's a singer nailing a high note in a song or an actor making us cry in a scene. We live vicariously through these moments and experiences, and we feel what it is to be alive. We all crave that. Is there any reason you can't be one of these people? Yes, actually there is. If, as the old saying goes, the eyes are the windows of the soul, then your voice is the front door. And if you don't open the front door wide, letting your authentic self out and the world in, you will not fully experience the power of a brave voice and what it feels like to be alive. I'm going to leave you with a story that involves Jody and I. As I said, we've been masterminding for years and years. I get a call one morning. "Mark, you're aware that the Dalai Lama is coming to Portland, right?" And I said, "Yes, I am, Jody." And she said, "And you're aware that I am housing 4 of the Buddhist monks that came with him?" And I said, I don't remember you telling me that." "Well, anyway, they're here. I served them breakfast this morning and it was amazing. You are coming tomorrow morning to serve these monks breakfast with me." And I thought to myself, I'm going to go be a wait person over at her house for this? I said, I don't think so, Jody. She goes, "Mark, yes, you are. Be here at 7:30. Click. So I went. I had to talk myself into it. And it was amazing. There were 4 gentlemen dressed in saffron robes. 2 of them were in their early 20s and 2 of them were a lot older. I didn't connect with the older guys that much, but I really connected, especially with one of the younger guys who was wearing a Michael Jordan basketball jersey under his saffron robe. We spent every morning eating breakfast. Their presence alone drew me to Jody's house every morning. I can't even describe it. It was so amazing to see people who seemed so mindful, evolved, enlightened in their 20s. And I went to certain activities. They created a sand mandala all week and then let the wind blow it into the Willamette River as a non-attachment exercise and all these other things. On the very last day, where they were going to be playing music on a big stage in downtown Portland prior to the speech that the Dalai Lama gave, they were all polishing their instruments and ironing their robes. And I walked out into Jody's garage and I looked at the young guy and I said, "Today's a really big day, huh?" He just looked at me with this weird look and he said, "Every day is a big day." From the mouth of babes. And it's true. Every day is a big day. So I hope you take this big day as a chance for you to rethink what you can do with the power of your brave voice. Thanks. All right, we're going to move now to another song. I wrote this with another friend of mine, Todd Samison, because I told Todd, there are so many people who keep telling me that they weren't born with a good voice. They can't sing. They can't be a speaker. They can't be an actor. They can't. I said, Todd, I want to write a song about the fact that all of us can do it. So we wrote this song, and it's called The People's Choir. Once you hear the chorus, you could sing along. Hard times are coming, come down like a heavy rain. Seems like the sunshine left town on the evening train. When that wind is wailing and the river's running higher, you got to raise your voice, come join in the people's choir. You've been sold a bill of goods when the devil comes to call. You've been told you got no right to hang round here at all. He whispers stories in your ear, but the devil is a liar. You got to raise your voice, come join in the people's choir. Here's the chorus. Raise your voice, come join in the people's choir. Make a joyful noise in the people's choir. So sweet harmony will set us free and leave our hearts inspired. You got to raise your voice, come join in the people's choir. Every living creature, every child, woman, and man was born to tell their story in whatever way they can. So sing it loud and sing it proud and set this world on fire. You got to raise your voice, come join in the people's choir. Everybody now. Raise your voice, come join in the people's choir. Make a joyful noise in the people's choir. Sweet harmony will set us free and leave our hearts inspired. You got to raise your voice, come join in the people's choir. Let's go down to the water and gather on the river bank. Raise our voices to the sky in a simple song of thanks. So sing it long and sing it strong and send it through the wire. You got to raise your voice, come join in the people's choir. One more time now. Raise your voice, come join in the people's choir. Make a joyful noise in the people's choir. Oh, sweet harmony will set us free and leave our hearts inspired. You got to raise your voice, come join in the people. Make a joyful noise in the people's. Raise your voice, come join in the people's choir. Thanks so much. It's been my pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you, Mark, for sharing your time, your talents. What a gift you are. And thank you, Karen, for all your wonderful music. You know, for a church that's closing down the building, and I just want to reiterate, we are not closing down the community. We're only letting go of the building. We have a lot going on. First announcement that I have to share with you is a save the date, September 12th in the evening. We'll give you more information on that. As you now know, your board president of 6 years, almost 6 years, is resigning that post, that position. And we are going to have a Catherine Snyder celebration party in honor of her. So save the date. It'll probably be around 7 on the 12th, but we'll get back to you on that. Let's see, on Sunday, today, on the 23rd, there will be an open house at the church and a garage sale, or I always want to say, valuable things sale. So come on over, see if there's anything that you're wanting. There's a lot there. And Tuesday at 9:30 in the morning, we have tea on Tuesdays. And August 27th, we have Holy Happy Hour. Come on, just join your community, bring your wine or water or whatever you have around 5 o'clock, and just hang out with your buds. And then Saturday, the 29th, from 9 to 12, there will be a building cleanup. And I understand from everyone that this is really fun. I've seen y'all work together and create new energy in that building. So please come and join us, help clean up, and it'll be pretty much the last day we have the building. And now is the time for the offering. You know, we are here to celebrate this community in Boulder Valley. And I want you to know that there's a lot of people working behind the scenes to create a new vision. We're literally giving birth to a whole new way of doing community. It's a unique home for many of us, and many of us are here to support, value, and simply love this community as well as the Science Mind philosophy. So if you would, please hold your gifts in hand, put them to your heart. And even if you don't have a check, just put your tithes to your heart. And please repeat with me. This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all that it touches. Freely I give, and joyously I receive, and so it is. I just want to thank you and remind you that you can give online, you can text, you can do Titherly, you can send us a check, and let us know if you have another way you'd like to give to us. Thank you so much.
So I'm here to remind you to reach out to us for prayer. Your practitioners are here for you to pray, to laugh with, to cry with, to offer a shoulder, or just a listening ear. We're here for you. All of our information is on the website, cslbouldervalley.org. Give us a call, give us a ring, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
So that's it for our service today. I hope you come and see us throughout the week. We have many, many events. And stay safe, stay healthy, wear your masks, and live in gratitude every single day. We'll see you soon. Have a great week. Hope to see you around the building this week. See you soon. Thanks so much.
Please share with me the benediction with exuberance and happiness. I now walk so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God. I now listen so that whoever speaks with me knows that I hear the voice of God. Whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness. For spirit and I are one eternally, and so it is.
We come together as a family. We come here as we are. We come with arms wide open. We gather here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise, Spirit's in this place. And we sing in celebration. We sing words of praise. We affirm our life as sacred. You know we do, and we declare peace is here. Right where we are now, Spirit is in this. Spirit's in this place. In this place. Spirit's in this. Spirit's in this place. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. In this place.
Original music written and performed by Karen Karsh. Copyright held by Karen Karsh Crystal Music. All rights reserved.